can I be honest with you? I've got game movie fatigue. Year after year, we've got these game movie writers churning out some game movie slop, and I'm sick of it. First, they came for the AAA slop, and I said everything. Like, really, you could not shut me up if you tried. Then they came for our childhood, and I started a war.
God damn it. I'm still sad what happened to Saints Row. I love that franchise. I enjoyed it up until 4. I did play God of Hell, but I stopped playing after that.
Oh, I'm about to tear mixtape apart in a few minutes. I don't care what they say. Let those game movie actors watch.
Wait a minute. This has been shown twice.
Apart in a few minutes. I don't care what they say. Let those
This moment right here is in game. This is like the most choppiest thing I've seen.
game movie actors watch. I like that. Now we've reached the last bastion of gaming, indie. This was always supposed to be your safe harbor from AAA garbage. For years, people have said, well, if you don't like AAA games, just go play indie. Well, what are you gonna do when they just brute force their way in here too? Well, now you don't have.
They're coming for our indie games. No. What's next? The Bandai games? I swear to God, if Xenoverse becomes like what gaming is now, I'm going to be upset. It already is not off to a great start because that reveal trailer had that AI song in it, and that AI song was like pretty bad.
To wonder anymore. This game movie bullshit. Now they want you to applaud their $1 billion indie game.
Is her power just flipping off things and they explode?
Like they did something special. But hey, maybe I'm just being jaded. Let's take a look at a special moment from the game. Come on, let's give it a shot, guys.
I can't show you this. YouTube would throw me. What did they put in here?
Jesus. That's it. No more shots for you. I gotta take as many shots as I give. My liver can't take it anymore. Which reminds me, have you ever seen a MILF shake? Well, you can at the link below. This was the only safe for work. Be sure to use code PIMP to get 10% off. Seriously, I don't know how many more of these game movies I can take. At this point, it's not like anyone even takes IGN seriously anymore, but they've got enough.
Yeah, IGN gave them like a perfect 10 out of 10, which is wild.
Money to annoy me on a daily basis. Some random freelance writer slaps a 10 out of 10 on this. Now I gotta talk about it. So let's talk about it. Mixtape is a game that's supposed to be indie, you know, despite the fact that they've spent more on licensed music than most games ever make. Because, you know, with such generous licensing fees in the industry right now, every scrappy solo dev should be able to pay 400 grand per song, right? And how can we forget about that indie charm of sending out expensive merch to all the reviewers and content creators? What, you think putting a gold bar in a goodie bag is a bribe? Well, it is. But they didn't do that. And legally, I need to make this very clear so that I don't get sued by this chick's billionaire father. I can't afford a lawyer. I'm a butler on a budget. You think they...
What is that? What, the game that we're seeing right now? The game we're seeing right now is the new quote-unquote indie game called Mixtape. It is the worst game of the year, and every reviewer got paid to make it known as a masterpiece, like a perfect 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 score, and this game sucks. Like, this is 100% a movie game. From all I've heard about this game is you can play, and I use that very loosely. Yeah, Mixtape. Yeah, that's what this game is called, Mixtape. This game, you don't have to play it for the first 2 hours. You can just like leave your controller down or your mouse and keyboard away, and the game will play itself for you. In scenes that you're supposed to control yourself, they have it set up that the game will auto-correct itself, so you will not fail. And all it is just like a side-scroller deal. This is like by far labeled the worst game of the year.
can't be an indie dev because their father is a billionaire? Listen, just because they've got a team of 30 people and millions of dollars backing them, that doesn't mean they can't be a scrappy indie too. Curb your prejudice. You people can't.
I think the only reason why they have in the indie title is because of the fact they're not backed by a well, not backed. They're not their own company. The word indie is like should be solidified as like a certain group amount of people.
Can't stand the sight of a young billionaire making their way out of the streets of their gated community. A billionaire that has more than nothing to work with. All the support money can buy. You don't know how hard
Why are they
it is
flying?
to have this little to struggle with. We started from the top, now we're here. But I'm getting off track.
Wait a minute. This chick is controlling fireworks?
But I'm getting off track. Mixtape is not a game. Some people say it has gameplay, then show you this. I hate my dad. I asked for a Ferrari and got a Cayenne. This is supposed to be 90s nostalgia, but this story was so asinine that it's got me thinking maybe the past fucking sucked. Maybe we all are living in the best times. That's how delusional this game makes me, and I'm tired of calling it a game. They keep...
I don't want to believe that because we literally have a whole thing with stop killing games and stop destroying games because gaming industry is so bad. I don't want to believe that now is the best time ever for gaming. I don't.
Cranking out these game movies that no one wants to watch, let alone play. These are failed Hollywood actors that devolve into game movie actors to pretend they matter. All these game movie actors just won't come out and admit it. You don't want to be a game movie actor. You're game for pay. So stop slapping around joysticks and go back to ruining Marvel movies. My culture is not your costume. Pride Month is early.
Yeah. Beach episode.
Twinkle, twinkle, star. And listen, I'm not saying these people are only in it for the fame. I'm sure they're in it for the money too. They're
100%.
have a theatrical release of the whole 3-hour experience.
No, we're not getting a movie, a mixtape, please, for the love of God. I don't know anything about mixtape other than the hate and the stupidity. I will much rather watch the Halo TV show back-to-back seasons. And I fucking love Halo. That's my favorite fucking game of all time. No, just no. Let people learn from Concord. No, please.
You know what doesn't have that? A video game. The only theatrical release happening this year is Street Fighter, and that's because Tammy has lore-accurate cheeks. Mixtape blew guys. Wait, sorry. Mixtape blew it, guys. So instead they...
Wait a minute, did they actually add those scenes in the game? What the fuck? Also, I'm not going to lie. The look of this is like this image right here that I paused on is in my nightmares now. I'm going to have nightmares with just these two people. I don't even know their names. I don't know who they are. I don't care who, but they look like mannequins. Realistically, they do, and I can see them staring into my soul.
They want every indie game award and an Oscar. Your greed sickens me.
Oh shit, when is the Game Awards? I don't know, Jeff usually does like email the partners, so I'll get my email when Game Awards is.
Listen, stories are great, but you seem to be forgetting that this is a video game. And the nice part about a video game is that after the cutscene, you get to play the game. If I cannot play the game, it's not a game anymore, is it?
But when does the cutscene end?
I'm the type of freak that likes to game and watch. Call me Mr. Game and Watch. Game and Watch? Yeah, I hope they do. I had nowhere else to put this joke, so it goes here. Frick you guys. Anyway, were you really shocked by the 10 from IGN? Were you really...
No, because IGN gave a very anticipated game the lowest score ever with the dumbest review ever recently. It was Mouse PI for Hire. They gave it, I think, like a 2 because they did not like the game at all because they thought they were going to get... The reviewer of IGN honestly thought the people who made Mouse PI for Hire getting sued by Disney, but they found a legal loophole around it because of the fact that they built the entire game around Steamboat Mickey, and Steamboat Mickey is free domain now, so now anybody can use it. Like, there's been like 2 horror games out there that's by actual indie devs of Steamboat Mickey being the killer, and the whole game of Mouse PI for Hire is supposed to be like around the theme setting for Steamboat Mickey. It was just them being like very dumb. They hated the black and white aesthetic of it, even though that's Steamboat Mickey. And like every character besides like a handful of them were mouses.
Shocked by that rhyme I rhymed. This is a movie for failures from the 90s that still blame their parents for being born. The last indie game they played was Cuphead, and they couldn't even beat the tutorial. They're still butthurt from that, so anything with gameplay is gonna get a lower score. Remember when they gave—
Why is her powers just flipping off things and she causes public destruction? Like, look at this shit.
Butthurt from that.
She flips off a trash can. The trash can explodes. Magic. The neighbor's throwing away grenades magically, and she's using the power of fuck you to make it explode.
So anything with gameplay,
then she explodes a fire hydrant. What is the purpose of that? Disrespect your surroundings or something?
Lower score. Remember when they gave Crimson Desert a 6 out of 10 because they had to think? Look, we all know
I think the person who gave Crimson Desert, like, I really do like Crimson Desert. My only complaint about Crimson Desert that I have is I wish buttons were not combined together. Like activating the Sun Sword, I have to hit on controller. I know Peggy probably explained it on yesterday's stream. I have to hold down LB and RB at the same time. I have to press it at that precise moment. But if I miss it, then I'm either doing block or jump or light attack or light swing. And they've actually done a really good job of updating the game. The game got updated today. They added something into it, like more of amounts.
critical thinking isn't their strong suit, and sure, people accuse them of using AI. But you gotta cut them some slack. They can't even spell AI anymore. The better
they can't even spell AI. Oh, yeah, and these are also their other reviews that people are matching it with. Mixtape, they gave it a 10 out of 10, masterpiece. Stellar Blade, a game that I played on stream, and I fucking loved Stellar Blade. It was like a really good like Dark Souls clone. The story was interesting, the gameplay was fun, the controls were fun, the puzzles were fun. I would honestly give Stellar Blade a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I would give it a 9 out of 10 is because, without spoiling it, there is multiple choice endings. It's the only time you'll ever have multiple choice endings, and the only way to see the other ending is to go through and play the entire game again. And you can redo the puzzles, but you don't get any rewards for the puzzles. I wish you got more upgrade stuff for the puzzles, but you can realistically 100% your upgrades your first playthrough like what I did. I 100% of the game my first playthrough. Yeah, the update broke my mods. Yeah, that's something like that does suck. Like, whenever I play Ready or Not, every time Ready or Not updates, all my mods get broken. And now Ready or Not is so broken to the point that if I want to play the game, I need a solid hour heads up because I need to uninstall the game, reinstall it, purge it, then verify the files just for Ready or Not because of like how much that the updates broke mods, that the mods are stuck in the folder. I love Stellar Blade 2. Hell yeah. I know like Stellar Blade 2 is a thing being cooked right now. I'm excited for it. What else did they give? Dragon Age Veilguard a 9. I have seen clips on why people hate Dragon Age Veilguard. And I get it. Like, there's scenes in the game that does not make sense to me. Like there's a lot of it. Crimson Desert 6, I disagree with that. Lollipop Chainsaw, they gave a 5? That's an old game. I have not played Lollipop Chainsaw in forever. Should I play Lollipop Chainsaw? They gave Marathon a 9? How much did Sony pay them? I know I'm blocking it, but they gave Marathon a 9. Man. And we're stuck with Marathon for a year because June 9th. Yeah, June 9th is the final update for Destiny 2. And the way they made it sound like with their send-off, they didn't really say it, but it honestly sounds like to me like Destiny 3 is a thing. Some people have like kind of like are thinking it's just Destiny's just gone forever. I disagree. I honestly believe we're going to get like the year worth of content we have for Marathon. And at some point during Marathon's like whole thing, they're going to announce Destiny 3. That's just me speculating. I know some people may think like, "Oh, you know things." No. That's just my speculation on that. I would honestly love to play Destiny 3. I have zero desire to hop into Destiny 2 right now, even with the Star Wars stuff, and I love Star Wars. My husband was so shocked when I asked him to buy me Stellar Blade. What did he say? It was like, that's a Gooner Dark Souls, right? And he just said, yes. Yes, correct. That's all we need within it. God, I want Stellar Blade too. I honestly, Stellar Blade kind of like fell into the line with like some games that I have issues with like, and it's mostly a me problem of 100%ing it, of like doing everything my first playthrough as much as I can and maxing out all the achievements. Because I just want to play more of it and I have nothing else to do in it. Like whenever I finish a game, it's 100% the South Park meme. Like, we did it. What do we do now? What do you mean? We can play the game. And I'm just like, I'm done playing it. He forgot he married a Gooner. Gooner Squad!
Game. And before people say it, I don't want Mixtape to fail. I hope they win every trophy at the Game Awards. That way they can melt them down and recoup their dev costs. Fortunately, these
Wait, hold on.
awards, that way they can melt them down and recoup their dev costs.
Only 2,245 people got Mixtape. And in a, what is it, like a week? In a week, they lost half their player base. Damn. And they're losing it more and more.
Fortunately, these awards are only metaphorically worthless, especially when you see how Expedition 33 stole every indie game award despite having a shoestring $10 million budget, large experienced team of developers.
Not to mention AI. There's like a whole thing like with certain games that people don't want to play because it has AI in it. And then it wasn't until like a year after the game release, it was found out through the devs that they used AI for Expedition 33. And I kind of like question on things within that. Like, I'm not bringing up the Neverness to Everness controversy with like they used AI for it, but there are a lot of people out there that praise Expedition 33 and it uses AI a lot more than Neverness. Like Neverness had like placeholders that they forgot, which we don't know the truth of it, but it's a whole thing on that one. So I'm just like thinking like, where's the line on it? Like nobody could find the AI until the devs said that there's AI in this game, and people still can't find what the AI like ordeal is in here. That's why it gets like very confusing with the the AI like hate. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of AI taking away jobs, 100%. But it feels like the goalpost gets shifted to like whatever is favored on it. I honestly have no problem with a game that uses AI. I don't think it's a bad thing. I will say if they use the voices for AI, and that's just me with the voice acting stuff, I will admit that's shitty, and it's the same prevalence of a headache that artists have, game devs have. Because I know people that's in game development and in movie development, and they even hate AI. But like it's been like a whole like debate on that. The AI in NTE is so minuscule. It's so ridiculous that people would threatening people for it. That's what I'm talking about. Is like Expedition 33. We don't know what the AI is used in the game, but they said it was like a huge part of it to like help development with shit. But if I remember correctly with NTE, they just use it for placeholder stuff and they said they forgot. Now there was a claim that they apparently lied to a marketing team, like one person's marketing team about it. My question is, where's like I don't want to say where's the proof, but I kind of do, because like whenever I emailed NTE and I had like my small discussion with them, they were very transparent with me. Like granted, I didn't really like go through with the sponsorship because like at the time I was advised not to play NTE until things died down. And that's kind of where it is right now. I still want to play NTE, but I was advised to like hold off on it at the moment until like we can come down to a denominator about the game. But that's the thing that confuses me. The hate between NTE, but most of the time the hate with the NTE is the same type of thing that I see that people love Expedition 33, and both uses AI. So that's why I question, where's the goalpost? Is it no AI or AI? There does not seem to be an in between within it.
In complete support of every gaming journo in the industry. With an ivory tower like that, poor Pizza Tower never stood a chance. What it also had going against it is that it didn't even come out in the same year as this. Who wrote this script? Damn, I did. What even is an indie game anymore? When I think of an indie game budget, I think of $100 to a failed Kickstarter. Not unlimited money from your billion-dollar daddy. Seriously.
Here's the thing. I have offered, so there's a Halo game out there that's in development. It's called Branching Sickness. It's a horror themed campaign, and I told them I would like to help, but I only have like $3. But can I please voice act in it? So like there's within that of it. So like I can only imagine when it's like, Dad, I need money for my game. What's your game? I don't care. Just take it. It'll be a tax write off. That's probably what it was. Is using AI for development game is a bad thing? Wait, is using AI for development. Sorry. I misread that. That's me. Here's the thing. The people that I know that work on games and movies, they use placeholder stuff. So like one of the most common things that people use for placeholders is cones. However, for some unknown reason a few years ago, they started charging you for like using placeholder stuff. So most of the time billionaires have like used this idea of like, we got to find a way to cut costs, and they don't know where the funds are going because they just want the product to be out. So they've come under the conclusion that the big bosses of it are just like, just use something from AI in there as a placeholder so it can stop breaking and you can leave me alone. That's the most common thing of it. And 99% of the time it's removed. But that's like the thing of that. Like most of the time with crunch time, you honestly forget it's there. I I will say one good example that AI is bad for gaming, and that was the rug pull game a day before. That game used nothing but AI assets like crazy, and it was a rug pull game. But for me personally, I gotta really pick my words here. I really do. This is the thing that will get me clipped and everywhere, and people going to throw a bitch fit. For my side of it, I would say don't use AI. Now I know like everyone's telling me go play Expedition 33 and everything. It's mostly just I'm not good at turn-based stuff. Like that's the thing that's driving me a little insane with Monster Hunter. I enjoy Monster Hunter Stories 3, but the turn-based kind of drives me insane. That's not really like my style. But I think like the fighting of AI has gotten down to the point that people don't even know what they're talking about. Like somebody months ago, this was like months ago, whenever Waifu Wares announced my trading card, some people try to nitpick some of the cards, and mine was in there that they accused of AI. And then the artist who drew my card came out with their live streams of them streaming me getting my card. So I think it's just, as of right now, it is a bad thing. It's in the early stuff. But like we can't tell what is or what isn't most of the time because of that, because people are very nitpicky on stuff. And the reason is I generally don't know why people hate a game when it has AI things in it. It's mostly just disrespectful to the side of things. Like AI art, I am against it because I do talk to a bunch of artists. I do work with a bunch of artists, and it is something that takes away jobs. And that's the reason why like even a lot of people hate AI for stuff, because AI takes away a lot of jobs. And it's essentially, I'm going to open up this drink. Eh. It's something that people are fighting back on, because if it's used too much, like look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty is probably like the best example I can think of. Activision Blizzard fired 90% of their artists, and they're using AI like crazy. Like the Six Finger Santa, the 11 fingernail, I forgot what it was. It was 11 fingernails. That was something in Black Ops 6. It's just that some companies rely on it. And then you got like Bungie's the other example of this, where they have nothing but artists. But the thing with Marathon, the artist stole art. And that's the reason why like they're really hoping with AI that people will not notice. They just don't want people to notice, but they don't understand like once something's out in the public, they will like critique it like crazy. Can't wait for this clip to come back and bite me in the ass.
Mixtape is the billionaire's equivalent of giving an iPad to your daughter so she'll leave you the hell alone. All these companies heard we like indie games and are trying to dress up like scrappy upstarts. Can't wait to play 2026's indie game of the year, Call of Duty 27. And I know I hate Mixtape the business, but I really love this game and can't wait to play it over and over again for the rest of my life. In fact, I rented out a whole theater so I could enjoy it fully myself. And cut. This fucking game. Motherfucker. And I told you not to use that picture. I got a double check. Fuck. Oh shit, we're still rolling? Thanks to the flock of pimps, the pimps have spoken. You're about to witness the biggest budgets that have ever graced the front of a shaker cup. Dropping May 28th, so the countdown starts today. Go bookmark it and mark your calendars for some great big jugs.
The jugs.